All right,
sir.
bet check. Here we go. I'm in the red a little bit. My bad. Yo, you already know. Man, the Wolf, J Hill. We here. What's popping,
Let's
dog?
get it, man. We back, episode 3. How you feeling?
Man, I ain't counting episodes. That's what I'm not doing.
I am.
I told you how I feel about that shit.
Yeah, I know, but
Go ahead, do your
I'm
thing.
just excited, man. I just feel like it's game 3. Like I feel like we're on an 82 game season right now. We're on game 3, so I'm excited. I'm taking it one game at a time.
One game at a time?
That's why I'm counting it. Not,
I'm trying to jump to like 80.
Told you, bro.
You
We
know
can't.
I'm trying to jump
we
to
can't.
80.
He want to get to 80. We can't simulate this. This ain't 2K, bro. We can't simulate the season. I'm enjoying this, man. We racking up the stats right now. We racking them up.
Racking up stats. Speaking of racking up the stacks, man, we got a motherfucking special guest with us.
Yes,
My guy
sir.
Dee-1. What's popping, dog?
My G, thank you for
Hey,
having me, bro.
you already know, man.
It felt like we've been knowing each other, but we literally just met in the parking lot.
Shit was listen, bro. Let me tell you, right?
You trying to pump your gas too?
Nah. So I met him differently. So like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, this guy, like, you know how, like, let me tell you something. So I went to church. You know, I don't really go to church too much like that, right? And this guy would just tell me, like, yo, I used to be a gangster. Like, he was like, yo, just listen to me. You feel me? Like, I used to shoot guns, sell drugs, and all this, bro. I changed my life around. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying. I'm trying to go to church.
Facts,
He like,
facts.
bro, he was a deacon and shit. He tried to walk me to my seat. Like,
That's what the D1. That's what the D. That's what
Deacon,
the D.
yeah.
Got it. Deacon 1.
Yeah,
You number 1
there
deacon.
you go. That's what the D stands
Damn,
for.
that's
Deacon
hard.
number 1, bro.
Yeah,
I was,
number 1
I was
deacon
the
out this
top ranking
motherfucker.
deacon in the whole city of New
Yeah,
Orleans.
he's like, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, I'm not, bro. Give me a second. But nah. But for real, we had a interview on IG Live. I see this nigga downstairs, and I'm like, I'm mind you, I'm in the car. I didn't even get a chance to say what's up. But my mind is like, yo, what's up? How you been? And I'm like, damn, we never even met each other.
Yeah, this is really the intro, but
Yeah,
it's feeling like
that's
an
how the-
old friend reacquainted.
that's
The
how the
energy. I seen the energy. Even how y'all was discussing how we was gonna link up. I seen how like, damn, they got some good energy, some good chemistry. So I was excited about
And
that
we
too.
we
I was
only
excited.
spoke maybe that one time.
Literally
bro.
that one time. It's just smooth, bro.
Yeah.
With certain
Facts.
people who you connect with in life, it's just smooth
Nah,
and
that's
it's
facts.
easy. And it's
Yeah.
like that's how it should be.
Mm.
You know, those instances where it's like, man, this really feel like pulling teeth or like I'm having to prove myself. We both talked about being in a new city
Mm.
and coming from being a big dog where
Yeah,
you
that's a
from. You
fact.
know what I mean?
That's a
To
fact.
come
Yeah, we
into
small
a city
fish.
to where it's like,
Yeah.
let's-
So how? Damn.
I was about to say, let's get all the logistics out the way.
Let's go, man.
Just let people know who you are, how you
Yeah.
get started, man.
For sure. So my name is Dee-1, DEE-1. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm a hip hop artist, you know what I mean? Amongst other things at this point, an owner, co-owner of several businesses, a public
Mhm.
speaker, a host,
Heavy.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
type of stuff. But also a former middle school teacher, you know what I mean?
That's heavy.
I never want to like discredit that part of my past because
Yeah.
it made me who I am, you know what I
Mm.
mean? So I started out as a teacher, man, just because I was like, yo, my best friend had just got murdered in New Orleans, and I was like, dang, life could really end any day. And that being said, I'm about to graduate college. I want a job to where I can make immediate impact on this world. You know what I
Facts.
mean?
Yeah.
To where if I go out the same way my best friend did, Lord forbid, I'll at least feel like I was making a difference in some people's
That's
lives.
a fact.
Mm.
So I became a teacher at first, and then while I was a teacher, I realized that the real move, if I want to make an impact, the real move is to go ahead on and chase this dream of being a rapper because that's who really has all the influence nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's what we just was talking about. Like prior to y'all coming up, it was another guy Offset, and he was just like, yo, man, like no matter how much you talk to them, but they influenced by the music. And right now, the music is determining the narrative. So if everything is the narrative is drill, you got something that's gonna kind of like counteract that. So I think that's what's up because to give them something else to listen to because it influences our mind. Like shit, I hear too much drill music. It started making me think, and you know what I mean?
For sure. So it's been an uphill battle my whole career to be different and dope at the same time. Like I intentionally have wanted to be different to show everybody like black people, we are not a monolith. We are not all having the same exact narrative, the same exact upbringing and outcome and desires in life. We're not a monolith, but when you're different like that, especially when you're going against the grain, you got to be 2, 3, 4 times as dope
That's
Yeah.
facts.
to just, you know what I mean?
And speaking of that, I told you we're gonna have this conversation.
Yeah.
I told you, bro. But speaking of that, like you not just no regular dude out here, man. Like you lit. Like how did your first break? Like how did you get lit? Like what was your first break?
Yeah, my first break. I was the definition of a local artist, bro, at first. So any local artist that's coming up, that's handing me their CD, that's DMing me online, I feel where they coming from because I was doing all of the above. You know what I mean? I made like 10 Facebook accounts at one time so I could try to add more people. This before they even had a Facebook fan page to where you can
had
have
the
a
5,000
D1
friend-
fan.
yeah,
You had
got
the
the
5,000
friend
friendly.
limit.
So I was like, I'm gonna have 50,000 because
Yeah.
I'm gonna have David Augustine. That's my name. I'm gonna have D Augustine. You heard me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have like all these different variations of me. I was doing all that, bro. I'm at every local club in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? I got my 9 to 5, but as soon as I finished that 9 to 5, I transferred from Clark Kent to Superman, and I turned in from Mr. Augustine to D1, and now I'm hitting the streets, you know, promoting my music. I was doing all that, and then one day I had the courage to make a song that could have either sunk my ship before my career even took off or blew me up.
Catapult that shit.
Yeah, and I had the courage to make this song. It was in my spirit. I said, man, these rappers, bro, 3 of the hottest rappers at the time, this is like 10 years ago, Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, right? Rewind 10 years ago, like, they still all prominent in the culture, you know what I mean? But even as rappers, like, all 3 were like at the top of their game, right? And I'm like, man, if only these dudes, I see how smart they are, I see how articulate they are and how paid they are. Man, if I could get the ear of these dudes and tell them how big of an impact they have on the youth, maybe I could get them to start spitting a different type of message, a different type of knowledge, you know what I mean? Because they're not out there running the streets no more. They're not out there in gangs no more, you know, selling dope. Even if they used to do that, they're not doing that anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I made a song called J50 and Wheezy. Scariest moment of my whole career. Because I didn't even have a career at the time, and I'm calling out 3 of the biggest rappers in the game. Not dissing them, but trying to talk to them the same way we talking.
Would you
as
say hold them
intelligent
accountable?
black men. Holding them accountable.
Gotcha.
It's not a diss song, it's a real song. That was my tagline, right? Holding them accountable. That being said, you asked what was my break? This is the power of knowing when you have something special, all right? Watch this. I put the song out, and the song didn't really do anything, right? This before streaming, you know what I mean? The song didn't really do anything. 18 months after I put the song out, I still had that gut feeling that the song was special, but I felt like it needed a visual to it. And I felt like with the right music video that this song could really blow up on YouTube and make me a lot more visible to people, right? People were like, D, you put that song out almost 2 years ago, bro. Like, move past that, you know what I mean? Something told me, nah, bro, this song is special. If people could just see it, then I feel like it would connect with them more. We shot a music video. It went viral.
Damn.
And I experienced how going viral can change your life, bro.
Damn.
So I went from having a 9 to 5, being a teacher, being Mr. Augustine in the classroom, to, man, I'm getting booked for shows. I'm getting paid. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
I ain't going to be teaching that much longer. You know what I mean? That's what happened,
He
bro.
put in his 2 weeks.
And that started it.
Get outta
Literally.
here.
Put that resignation letter in.
That started it. And from there, all it did was crack the door open for me. And from there, I had to follow it up with another one. Bow, I hit him with my second single, One Man Army. That song got on MTV Jams, you know what I mean? People all around the country like, man, who is this dude? He on MTV Jams, you know, unknown artist, Next thing you know, I hit him with another one. Next thing you know, I'm on tour with Young Dro, Killer Mike, and my boys Pac Div out of Los Angeles. And we were out here in Atlanta, matter of fact, we were all signed to Grand Hustle Management. T.I. was in jail at the time, but we were all managed by his label, by Grand Hustle.
Yeah.
So, bro, that started the snowball effect, and here we are a decade later, and I'm still
We all in Atlanta.
moving on up.
We still running.
And we here.
Damn. So listening to your path, right, and looking at the way like people calling it like the popcorn wave, where people just like dropping shit and popping, right? Everything just happening because you went viral, but you was already putting in the groundwork. Do you appreciate? I mean, you can't negate what you did, but do you respect? I guess the popcorn wave that's happening now. Everybody going viral. And just like blowing up overnight without having to do that, like having that story that you had?
Man,
did he not have that story though, low key? Because it kind of like as soon as he made the video, it kind of went.
The video popped
that's
off
what I'm saying.
quick.
Like
the
like,
video
like,
popped. Watch this. The video popped off quick, but
The
for
song
5
didn't.
years before
Okay.
that, I had been, you know, grinding, bro. My first performance ever was at a
the
talent
nigga
show
had
when
10
I was in
Facebook,
college.
bro.
Yeah, I had 10 Facebook
Yeah,
accounts,
yeah.
bro. I did every talent show. There's nobody in the city of Baton Rouge and New Orleans who could say Dee-1 didn't step in their club and do the
And
open
put the
mic.
groundwork
Yo,
in.
you know what's
And,
crazy?
You know,
Not to cut you off, my bad. It's like one of my friends, right? One of my close friends. You know the nigga.
Yeah.
The nigga comes to me.
oh, we're
right?
not gonna say his name, huh?
I mean, yeah, it is what
Aight.
it is. But like,
I don't
so,
know where he going with it. That's why I'm not saying.
Right,
his
No,
name.
it ain't nothing crazy. It ain't nothing
Oh,
crazy.
all right.
It ain't nothing
I'm not
crazy.
saying the name.
I
until
say
I
the
see
nigga
where he
name,
going
but
with
so
it.
the nigga come to me. He says he told me it was like an artist that was lit. He was like, yo, this nigga came from nowhere, and I'm like, he's an artist himself. And I'm like, bro, you know better than to say somebody came out of nowhere
Right.
just
That's
because you
right.
knew to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
what
a
the
fact.
fuck? Like, so when you
Yeah.
say that, I'm like, it made me think of that because like no artist really, well, I can't say no, but
You're right, because nowadays some
Yeah.
artists are literally like, bro, I started rapping 3
Yesterday.
months ago.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Started rapping 3 days ago.
That right there, I feel differently about that. I'm like, man, that's
but is that how can
you can't
it
get
ain't
mad
their
at them.
fault. It ain't
I
their
just
fault.
feel differently about it, meaning that I know that they might not appreciate their blessings as much as I appreciate.
Do you
mine.
think it affect the longevity in careers though, both of y'all? Because like without having that, like you don't know if you just wake up rich and you ain't grind, you can't appreciate it. Look at what people did with the fucking pandemic money. How could you appreciate some shit that would just flat? Some people capitalized, 80% of the people did.
So I feel like sometimes like we just find out things at different times in our lives, right? So like that don't mean just because somebody started rapping 3 days ago or 3 months ago or even 30 years ago don't mean they appreciate it differently. Like that man that started rapping 3 days ago could have still been struggling for something else, right? Like that means like, bro, like for example, you was rapping, you know what I'm saying?
facts.
You had some success with rapping.
Yeah,
You
facts.
was managing, you had success with managing.
Yeah.
Now we doing a podcast. Hypothetically, let's say the podcast
Let's take off.
Take off. That don't mean that
No,
you
that's
don't
a good-
appreciate
that's a
it.
good- that's a
You know
good-
what I'm
that's a
trying
good
to say?
example.
So I
That's
feel
facts.
like it's just people just are different spaces in
Yeah.
their lives at different times.
And I feel like if you're in a position to criticize another person's success that much, that shows a lot. That shows a character flaw on
Hell
your
yeah.
end.
Hell
Because
yeah.
if you're really entrenched into your grind and your purpose, you know what I mean, in life that God has for you, you won't even have the energy and the bandwidth to be overly critical of somebody else's
No, that's
success.
a fact. So what y'all think from the longevity standpoint of like, all right, boom, the podcast take off in 3 days. So now I'm expecting everything. Like when you went viral, did you have that monkey on your back feeling like your next joint
Gotta
shit
go
hit like
viral.
that? Because I've managed artists and like I had artists shit go viral. So, and I always see them go through that same struggle of thinking everything should be like that. Like, damn, this shit hit. They try to think it's a formula. Damn, is it a method to the madness? How can I go viral again? And then that's why I asked about the longevity because it wasn't no process. So like, how could you appreciate a process that you never went through, and then when you got to go through it, you can't appreciate it because you just like, I already got to the end of the road. Now I'm going back to the beginning. How do I even get there to begin with? Because I don't even know.
Damn. So
You know what I'm saying?
I do think humility is a character trait to where even if you didn't have to grind, like Jay said, if you didn't have to grind in music for several years, you could have still grew up poor though, and you
That's a
can
fact.
understand like, yo, I know what poverty felt like,
And I ain't trying to go back.
and I ain't trying to go back to that.
That's
So
a fact.
therefore, if this music went viral and that was my ticket, I'm gonna continue to work hard because I do know what the opposite of these fat pockets feel
Look
like.
like facts. Yo, that's real. My brother just said that. I like to compare that to like when a player get drafted to the NBA, right? A lot of the times when artists get their record deal, they think they made it, right? But I feel like that's just draft night. Like you still gotta have accolades that you want to accomplish, whether it's winning championships, just like going platinum. You know what I mean? Even if it's just going gold and getting MVP, or just being able to sell out a tour and go on a world tour, you gotta still put the groundwork in. Even though you got drafted in a sense, you gotta work hard to stay on the team. You gotta work hard to get extensions and get large max out contracts and stuff. So just getting a record deal, that's literally the beginning. But I watch so many artists get their record deal and they think that that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say, like, give them some advice on, like, you've been in this shit for 10 years. Like, you went viral 10 years ago. Still here, Jay, y'all lit. We right here, sitting right here. How can, I guess you can advise them to let them know, like, that shit just the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly. I use sports analogies a lot. So
Okay.
getting a record deal or going viral, that is literally like draft night, like you said. That is the perfect analogy because once you get drafted, now you have to fight for a starting position on that team. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Now you have to know that once you've been on that team for a little bit, they're looking to draft your replacement
No, that's
after
a
a
fact.
while. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, that's a fact.
So
That's a
so I
fact.
know I've been signed to a major record label. A few years after I went viral, I ended up signing with RCA Records. You know what I mean? Could have signed with Cash Money, YMCMB, and ended up not doing that deal. Got with RCA, and that's how it felt. It felt like, yo, I rose all the way to the top of the local scene. I'm winning Artist of the Year every year in New Orleans. Every year, Underground Artist of the Year.
Basically,
D1.
nigga went D1.
D1, right, literally. And then as soon as I signed to RCA, I'm at the bottom of the totem pole.
You got to start.
Underneath.
Stay there,
All
right? Stay there.
That's
I feel
heavy.
like, yo, the mayor of Atlanta, yo, you owe us a check or something at this point because everybody bring on. I feel like everybody in the same position.
Yeah.
What made you move to the A?
Man, I moved to the A because I felt like a big fish in a small pond
That
at
same.
this point.
You
Everybody
got
got the
drafted
same
RCA,
narrative.
right? Like
Yeah.
you was that big guy, that
Yeah.
big fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as you went to RCA, it's like, I gotta start over. How
Yeah.
you feel though now? That
Being in Atlanta is it's humbling.
It's humbling as
it's
a
humbling.
mother.
But luckily, I'm already humble. So I'm like, all right. You know what I mean?
I feel like I got humbled on my way out
I'm
here,
about to
so
say,
I
feel
came
like
out
it
here
ta-
humble too.
We say niggas be like, I'm humble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you get here and it really show how humble you are.
Right.
You ain't
Like,
got no
right.
pull. That's going out. You'll notice like damn, like you know when you in the city, especially you a host, so you understand that shit firsthand. You ain't got no pull in these clubs, so like
What?
that's where the real humbleness coming at. Like you know what I mean? But
So
I
do you
appreciate
think
it.
do you think you was like being out here and you say I'm already humble?
Yeah.
Do you really feel like I'm out here and I was humble or I got humbled again?
I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. I don't.
Keep it on it.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. Listen, bro. So I'm in a unique position in life to where to some people I don't have to do another thing for the rest of my career, and I'm already a legend to them.
Yeah.
No,
already a legend.
I understand that.
And
completely.
to other people, they're like, "Oh, what's your name, bro? Nice to meet you. I never heard of you before.
Yeah.
Like, introduce yourself to me." So existing in that middle space to where it's like that girl right there was just crying because she met me 5 seconds ago, and you have no idea who I am. I'm comfortable being in that type of space.
Yeah.
So Atlanta to me is just an extension of
It's
that.
crazy
energy.
you say that because like I feel like me and Wolf are in a similar space. I mean, I don't have like you got like 200 and something.
Yeah, he like at a
Yeah.
quarter.
Like
Yeah.
quarter
like
million
a quarter.
on
I'm not
IG.
at a quarter, but it's crazy like what I've done for my city, and I could say for the same with Wolf. Like I hate the self.
Mhm.
Like I hate this
But
self-proclaimed.
own your greatness, bro.
You know what I'm
Own
saying?
your
But I hate
greatness.
the self-proclaimed.
It ain't
goatness, but-
self-proclaimed because people tell you this.
Yeah,
you
so
there you
I
go.
was about to say, so I
repeat
feel
what
like I'm
people
in we in a similar situation where it's a lot of kids in my city, like with the freestyle stuff. Like people look at me as like I wouldn't say a
Nigga,
legend, but
you
like
are
gold
nah.
status, right?
If you don't want to do it, I will. You are a legend because the fact of the matter is, you taking people creativity, you giving them a platform, and then that shit is getting seen. Like when he talk about visibility, that's important because
Right.
this is how an artist catch they break.
Facts.
So no name included. You know artists that got visible.
So
off.
fuck it. I would say, I guess like I'm in
Yeah.
that status of like where you would be at, where it's like
Yeah.
I can do nothing, and people from my city, it's certain people from my city will look at me as a legend. And I come in Atlanta and
fact. That's how I
nobody know
feel.
me. But at the same time, you see how you're comfortable with it.
Mhm.
I want to get to a place where I'm comfortable because I feel like you might be just comfortable with who you are, right?
There you go.
And not
That-
saying
he-
that
yeah,
I'm
he a
not.
bit
The podcast just went to another level,
That's
y'all.
it.
'cause
And we
now,
potting.
now
That's
you're
what-
open. Now
Right.
you're opening a new door.
Exactly, and I
Yeah.
feel like that has a lot to do with your spirituality and just
Yeah.
how you move as a man,
Yeah.
right? I feel like with me, to be honest, I'm always been honest. You feel
Yeah.
me? I haven't gotten there yet because I'm so like I'm still chasing like my love and my passion, right?
Yep.
I haven't really tapped into like I'm in love with Jay Hill.
Mhm.
I'ma be real.
But this
I'ma
is
be
that,
100%.
this was
Go
that
ahead.
moment is for you because like I was fortunate enough to go through that before I got out here. Like he said, like I wasn't known in my city, and I was telling you off camera, like your celebrity amplifies in Philly
Yeah.
because like even an underground artist, they get treated like some mainstream shit.
Okay.
And if you don't have humility, you'll get lost in the
Oh,
shuffle.
what?
Because you can't
Taking
like
it off you.
I mean, yeah,
Man.
that's definitely
Trenches,
a possibility.
Baltimore, New Orleans,
Philly,
Philly.
it's all
We could all feel that statement right there.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So it's like I feel like with you, I got my humility pill right before I came down here. So I came down here humble. Like I'm really grateful for everything. Like that's why I count the episodes and I'm hyped for the views we get. I'm humble and I'm ready to work. And I'm gonna comment on your space. But for you, what you said and where you at now, I just feel like you in that moment. Like you just gotta be patient with yourself
Right.
because you at a new place. So ironically, we all start from the bottom. And the mayor, Atlanta name is Keisha Bottoms. Like I just want to throw that in there.
Hey, Miss
So,
Bottoms.
you owe us so he's Jay feel like you owe us some money. But outside of that, I just feel like you gotta be patient with yourself, bro, because everybody can see your greatness and you know you great. But I just feel like we talked about this shit with the young. It's like you living in your young nigga phases again and feeling like your shit gotta happen now. And like we all complimented the production, bro. And you responsible for 80% of the production. Like, I'm gonna give you your flowers on camera. First thing Dee-1 said, damn, bro, this shit A1. You said, nah, it gotta be better.
Yeah.
Nah, nigga, accept the flowers
See,
at
and I
that.
think-
Accept
see,
them
it's-
roses right
see,
there.
me, it's not like I don't think it's like I'm not really in like trying to chase my past self. It's just I'm not gonna lie. It's like I just always been hungry and wanting more. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna
Right.
get
And,
it.
and sometimes, like you said, I gotta understand how to just accept where I'm at.
Yeah.
But to be honest, you feel me? I feel like they say the same reason people love you be the same reason they hate you, right?
Mm.
So for me, that's a lot of what drives my greatness. That's a lot of why I am where I'm at, because of my ability not to give up and not to get comfortable.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
But that can be also a cancer as well if you don't have the right balance.
And also this, I want to ask both of y'all, where does y'all validation come from?
I think mine come from self, right? So full transparency, like I stopped wanting validation when I was young, and I went through my phases in the teenage years of wanting validation, but it was for the wrong reason. Maybe it was for money, from women, from other street niggas, because I was in the streets. But me and my brother had a long talk today, and it made me realize, like, the reason I start validating myself, because, like, y'all can look at my nose. Everybody can see that something is up with my nose. Being a kid, I literally got teased about this shit every day. Like, literally, it wasn't a day that went by where I wasn't being teased. I hated going into new spaces because I didn't want new people to see me and find a new way to laugh or new shit to say. So eventually it got to a point where I realized, I'm like, it's nothing, and I tried like ways to change myself or whatever. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I gotta accept it. So in that moment, I want to say I was a young kid at the time, and I realized, I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. I can't change that. So my confidence it was not false. Like, it's not one of them things where it's like I wear my appearance, because this is the first thing you see when you see me is my face. So once I got confident with you seeing my face, everything else just follows. So the validation, I mean, of course, like, it might have felt good when, people might praise you and shit, but that's an ego thing more so. Now I can accept it with humility and pay it back versus me feeling like, I'm great. I'm this because you say I'm this. It's more so like, nah, like whether you tell me or not, I kind of know myself. I know who I am. And that shit started all the way back then.
That's crazy.
That's powerful.
Because my validation came from, it's crazy that you say that, because I think, like, since I was a kid, my validation came from, like, the outcome of things. I'm going to be honest with that. Like, so, like, my mom's was a heavy drug user, right? And I used to get teased for it a lot. So as a kid, like, I used to fight because I would get teased. Yeah. And then, like, I learned as a youngin' that I knew how to fight. Like, literally, like, when I say I'm one of the people that, like, I done fought, like, probably over, I mean, like, a couple hundred. Like, literally, I got banked more than time. I got banked more than some people have one-on-one fights, honestly. So, like, I remember as a kid, when I was
getting jumped, you gotta give us some context. We from Philly and Louisiana.
Right.
So
Bang,
I got jumped. So, like, I say that to say, at that moment, I realized that, my mom's life don't have nothing to do with me. I can make my own life, right? Because I started playing ball. So when I say through action, so, like, I started playing ball. I was successful in football, and I'm like, damn, like, what my mom did don't have nothing to do with me, right? And then I started fighting a lot, and I understood that, I can fight. Now I need to do something better with my life, right?
Facts.
As I got older, and I feel like because I had those interactions, I never really learned how to get my validation within. It was just really just from
what people were giving you.
Yeah, exactly. Or what I created. So, like, even with, like, my content and stuff, like, I was playing ball and I was good, but I worked really hard at it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I worked hard to be good, and I became good. So I didn't need validation from nobody else because it showed in my work. I started radio, and, like, I never did it before. Swear to God, I never did it before. And, like, people will call me like, yo, you're really good. I worked hard at it. Podcast, I started getting the numbers or whatever. Freestyles, started getting the numbers. And everything I did, how some people say everything I touch turn to gold. I literally felt that, and I saw it on my own. So it's kind of like I did get my validation for myself, but it was from what I had, like, the work that I put in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm a big believer in, like, a hard worker hard work beats talent anytime talent don't work hard. I'm a huge believer in that. So to answer your question, I think the validation really came within, but it's how it came within. It's because I had to tap in and show myself that, push yourself through that threshold of pain or whatever you think to quit. If you push yourself through that threshold, then success is on the other side. You feel me? And that's where my validation came from, to be honest.
So knowing that, it makes it to where this season of being new to Atlanta and being somewhat uncomfortable, it shouldn't embrace you at all.
But that's what I see from me. I think sometimes when I speak, it comes off wrong, like, because I'm very uncomfortable. But that don't mean I'm not comfortable with myself. But that's when I thrive. Right. You get what I'm saying? And that's how but I guess if we don't get deep into the conversation, people like he's insecure. But it's like, nah, that's why I thrive.
And you got to be able to decipher where it's coming from too, because we can confuse ourselves and not know. Like, I learned that, like, then I'm gonna just land the plane here. For me, I realized that I want respect more than attention. And I think that's what stopped me in my teenage years when I wasn't identifying the difference. Because it's like I was throwing parties and I'm like, I'm lit, I'm fucking chicks, I'm doing what I want to do in the city. And I was accepting that hype. But then, like, I realized that, like, it's like when people go viral for doing some nut ass shit now. Do you want that attention, or do you want to go viral for your song and it's actually doing some shit that's respectable?
Yeah.
So the reason people pay it forward to you because they respect your actions. So like. I grew up. Even him saying how many times he fought. Like, if you go to the city, that's all they're gonna say. Man, this nigga changed his life around. I done fought a million times because of my nose and not being comfortable. And I was a bully because of it. I said, if somebody gonna make my life hard, I'm gonna make your life hard. So I understand that, but you get respect. So don't confuse that with nothing outside of that, because that's why you're a legend. Because niggas respect the work that you put in to even get here. But the reason you're uncomfortable because you put that work in and that shit don't count for nothing.
That shit don't count for nothing.
It don't count for shit out here.
Where you get your validation from?
I get my validation from my heavenly Father, bro.
I knew you was gonna say that. For the guy, I knew you was gonna say that, bro.
I'm gonna give you that because
I knew he was gonna say that.
That was
I do, bro. And I realized that has been the game changer for me. Is the fact that in this industry I've experienced depression. You know, being signed to a major label, having more money in my pocket than ever, having the popularity and the respect from people. You know, and I was like, dang. It still doesn't feel like enough to fulfill me. And it's because all that stuff is temporal. You know what I mean? It's temporary,
That's a
bro.
fact. That's
so,
a fact.
like, they respected that last album you put out, but then it's like, well, what about this one? That was last year.
Yeah.
They respected that last single that went viral, but what now? They
What's
respected
next,
that last picture you posted on the gram because you was lit, you know what I mean? Your diamonds was blinging, but what about, are you going to get as many likes on this picture? And once I started to realize that, like, man, it's a dark hole, bro. Like, it never ends in terms of constantly chasing the validation from external sources. I was like, yo, this God talk is not just a figure of speech. Like, it's really a life changer in terms of the peace that it provides for you, to where you could be in the midst of a tornado. Like, this entertainment industry is a tornado, bro. It's crazy what it does emotionally, psychologically to you. People down to their last financially, you know, behind chasing their dreams. It's crazy what it does to you. But ultimately knowing that, like, yo, I'm already as cool as I'm supposed to be. I'm already as lit as I'm supposed to be, because in God's eyes, as long as that's my target, is to make God proud of whatever I put out here, like, that's what I should be chasing. That right there, that's been a game changer for me, because now it's like, yo, I'm not going to be for every human being. There's 3 people on set right now. If I walk away from here and none of y'all are like, man, I don't really F with Dee-1, I'm okay with that. And I could still love you the same way.
100%.
Because I know that as long as I could walk away from here with my dignity and with knowing that I'm the man that God has called me to be, even in this context, it's easy to be the man that is going to most fit into this environment.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to be like, well, shoot, they dress like that. I could have wore some more gold chains, or they cursing. I could curse too, to fit in, or, you know.
I mean,
like,
your gold chain look big, though. Don't point out.
I'm saying, but it could be so many things that, bro, we got these insecurities. And I don't want to say I have these insecurities to where I even find myself constantly being like, you talked about your nose. You talked about your mind with drug use. For me, it was being light-skinned. I come up in the hood. For some reason, that wasn't
make fun.
Wasn't no light-skinned dudes in my hood,
I ain't gonna lie.
except for me. You know, everybody, they see my pops. Oh, man, your daddy white. My daddy not even white. He just light-skinned. He look white. You know what I mean? So people.
And that Pawpaw?
Yeah. Oh, Pawpaw. Yeah. My grandpa.
Yeah.
Same thing. People to see my daddy, my grandpa, my grandma. Oh, all right. So you know, your parents and grandparents, they white. And I'm like, no, man, like they light skinned. My mama is like, you know, your color, you know what I mean? So I'm like, this is my family or whatever. But being in a space to where it's like, dang, being the only light skinned dude in my clique or in the hood, that becomes a thing where it's like, oh, you kind of get made fun of, or there's so many stereotypes associated with
That's
that.
a fact.
Oh, you soft, or you a pretty boy, or you a diva,
boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Soft.
You all this type of stuff. And I'm like, I'm really none of the above, but I always found myself fighting, even in the rap game. Like, okay, you a rapper, you come from New Orleans. There's an automatic, like, expectation of what you're supposed to sound like, or what you're supposed to be rapping about, right? And for me, I'm like, yo, I grew up on all that stuff, but at my core, I'm like a different dude. So you're gonna hear some Lil Wayne in my music, you're gonna hear some juvenile influences in my music, but you're gonna hear a man that's college educated. You're gonna hear a man that's, you know, that follows Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear all this. And that's not always comfortable though, bro. Like, when I'm stepping in spaces where I know this ain't what's gonna be celebrated. You know, a lot of times in this music industry, and I get this from Charlemagne. I heard Charlemagne say this before. He said, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. In this music industry, bro, I have often felt like it's just a space where I've been tolerated, but not necessarily celebrated.
So what about if we add to piggyback what he's saying, what about going where you appreciate it?
Appreciate
on top of being celebrated.
On top of being celebrated. You're right, because celebration could be fake. That could just be like,
that just cheers.
Like, that could be
because you benefiting me at that point.
Yeah, that could be somebody looking at my Instagram being like, oh, he got 250,000 followers. Like, we gonna celebrate him. We gonna invite him on. But that's different from them appreciating
because I appreciate your greatness, your existence, the divinity, and shit like
that type of stuff. So you're right, bro.
Yo, question before, because I feel like this is a perfect segue to go into Shine On, right? And it is. But I just want to ask you, how did you like? What made you know that you needed to tap into God and specifically God and Christianity? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what made you know? Like, how did you know? Like, this is it? Because I feel like as we get older, we like kind of challenge it. To be honest.
and so for me, everything that I had built my identity on, that this world feeds us, I had all that at an early age. You know what I mean? I can't relate to the person that's like, man, I was never popular. I was always popular. You know what I mean? I was the homecoming king. I was always popular. I was a nobody. I couldn't get no girls. I always had that.
Was it because you was light skinned?
Huh? Nah, it wasn't because I was light skinned, boy.
It might have been because
leave me alone, dog.
You know, girls like that light skin shit.
All right. I hear you. All right.
The light skins gonna be in our comments going crazy on it.
Oh my God.
They using it against me, but nah, bro. So I always was like well-liked, popular, you know what I'm saying, real good in sports and smart, good grades. But that being said, bro, when I went to college, I come into college as I'm used to being the big man on campus as far as a basketball jock. I got the baddest chick in the whole school in high school, you know what I'm saying? I come just with this armor of like, man, I hang with all the New Orleans dudes and we run this campus, you know what I mean? I come with all that armor. And when I got to college, all those things got stripped away from me. My girlfriend cheated on me. You heard me? With a football player. You know how that feel.
I feel like we all can talk about
we
that.
talk off camera. Oh, you know how that feel too? You married, dude.
Yeah, he married.
So
married folks.
Matter of fact, is it check-in time? You got to call your wife yet? I know.
Now I might have to text her. Hold up.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, just tell her you think
gosh.
about her or something, bro.
Oh,
you smart.
man.
You married.
Hey, come on, bro. I can't, don't do me like that.
Hey, bro, anytime you public with your relationship on Instagram, the way that I have seen you be, like, that, bro, I'm invested in y'all relationship now because you've exposed it to me, like to us.
I'm speaking at the wedding, so
you speaking at
that's
the
why I told you I want look this every time we talk, bro. This is like the relationship guru. He got a book, cheating is not cheating. Every time we talk, you want to talk relationships, right? And I'm like, bro, try and get on the podcast. I don't want to talk relationships. He's like, yo, bro, you gotta talk about what you gotta talk about what you got, bro. You gotta talk about it. I'm like, yo, leave me alone.
I be talking about it off camera, but nigga be like, you ever see somebody look like they congested with problems? They just walking around swole, like some shit on his mind.
Bro,
I feel like it show up in other areas. So I don't want to give him no advice. I just be like, if you just want to talk, I won't say shit.
Yeah, just
talk, nigga.
Yeah,
like,
just talk.
But you just walking around all swole and shit. Like,
I think it's a Gemini on me, bro, because I be happy. Like, I be happy as fuck.
You really gotta ask this nigga like, yo, you cool? He be like, nah, bro. If you see me like this, I'm happy. I'm like, nigga, I'm used to happy being expressed through facial expression.
Right.
But no, but listen, it was one thing I wanted to say. I'm happy you spoke about even going where, like, speaking on being celebrated. Because a lot of these young boys, I feel like that's what we say in Philly, young boys, or whatever. Yeah. A lot of these young boys, they really
I love
don't
that,
know.
by the way. I love that slang.
But I'm fucking with the
young boys, Johns.
Yeah.
Believe that,
two. Yeah, we fucking with y'all too.
I ain't heard that one. What is that?
That's some Baltimore shit.
Toot.
Yeah, I run around my crew. T-W.
Two.
That's how they say it, two.
Like instead of your crew, your two?
No, two is just like you and me and you too. Like, you know, we
two. Oh, like two, T-W-O.
Yeah, but they say T-E-W.
Two.
Yeah.
Boy,
but listen, no, basically,
I don't say like that. He making up some shit.
Bro, basically what I'm saying is a lot of young boys don't know like that they need to basically like understand it. Like, it's like you speaking from a point of understanding yourself and accepting yourself and not just trying to fit in. So when you say like it's easy to go where you tolerate it, it's like a lot of people try to do what people gonna like to fit in.
Yeah.
You spoke to coming up here knowing you're gonna be you whether we fuck with it or not.
Yeah.
I think that we gotta put light on that because so many people out here buying materialistic things You know what I mean? Trying to chase large amounts of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they feel invalidated when they don't get the woman they want. You know what I mean? It's one of the things where it's like, no, bro, if you want to, and I'm going to spin this to relationships. There's a woman out here for all of us.
Let's do it. No, let's do it, bro.
I don't
Let's
care.
Do it.
No, go ahead.
There's a woman out here for all of us, right? So if you understand the level that you at, you know what I mean, and you attract a woman that's into you for what you have, like, because a woman should make you want to be better as a man, not make you want. Now, this don't mean you can't want better shit, because if it's for you, that's what you want, that's cool, because some people like material shit. But a woman shouldn't challenge you in a way that make you feel like you got less because you don't got the material things. So if you know yourself, you know that the woman that's for you will make you want to be better within your character, you know what I mean, which will then allow you to chase your dreams and pursue a better lifestyle.
But, you know, I'm not going to lie, like, you are right? And I feel like a good woman is definitely going to challenge you to be a better person.
100%.
And definitely be a better man. Right?
100%.
What I do feel like is I feel like, to be honest, as humans, it's not just men, right? But especially men, because we always trying to, I'm not saying women not trying to do better, but I'm speaking amongst men. I feel like it's always a challenge with us, specifically men, of who we want to be versus who we used to be, right?
Okay.
And I feel like I say that because your woman might challenge you to be a better man, but just because you aren't that man yet, it's okay. And I said this last week. I feel like a lot of times we get conflicted with who we used to be, far as like versus the person that we want to be. And sometimes when a woman challenges us, it hurt our feelings, it hurt our pride. But
do you think that's a proper challenge?
I think no, it's not even about being proper or improper.
Okay.
I mean, and I say that because if you accept yourself, like we were talking about, right? If you accept yourself, you'll understand that even though she's challenging me to be a better man, and I do want to do these things for her, I do want to get to this place eventually. It could be, I don't know, hypothetically, it could be like we had here this conversation about splitting rent, right? And you might want to be a man to provide for your family, but if you aren't there yet, you should be okay with it. But a lot of times we get challenged to be that person that we want to be and not being who we
are in that moment.
We
are in that moment.
I think
then what happens is that's when we start making decisions, irrational decisions. And I don't know, now you all trying to sell drugs because you want to provide for your family. Or now you all doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy thing is, though, I'm glad you said that because I feel like in that, in that realm, I agree. Like at the end of the day, but I'm not sitting here saying that I'm gonna condone selling drugs or whatever, but I'm not gonna knock somebody for trying to provide for their family in that way. But it's the ones that'll go sell drugs to get to buy the bags for the girl, try to get the sneakers to impress the girl. So that's when I say don't get challenged in that way, because I agree, if you can't afford to pay the rent in full by yourself, you got to be honest with where you at, and if that's how it works, or once you're honest with yourself as a man, a woman can't run you flat out. But when you lying to yourself, then she gonna use them lies against you and push you to her limits. But as a man, we got to know our limits. So I agree.
Exactly,
I
bro.
agree with that 100%. If you can't afford to handle it, wait till you get there. Do what you got to do.
Okay, and I feel like a lot of times, but this fucking social media world puts so much pressure on us as humans, honestly, bro. Because I feel like, it's like
they got their pressures with the way they look and shit.
If you can't get your girl the Dior bag or the whatever or the Louis Vuitton, bro, and your friends is, bro, first of all, stop looking at somebody else. You know what I'm saying? As yourself, bro. You are yourself. Look in the mirror. If you can't do that, and guess what? It's gonna hurt a lot of niggas' feelings, because it hurt mine at one point. I ain't gonna lie. If you can't do it, it's okay. And if she don't accept you for not being able to do it, walk away.
That's the nail in the coffin of what I'm saying. Like basically, like understand where you at and what you able to do. And if somebody make you feel like you less than, because I would say this if we was talking amongst women, if somebody and I would say a man making a woman feel less than, just to tie it in a circle. But if somebody making you feel less than, then they not the person for you.
Because watch this.
I'm about to say, I feel like D is triggered.
This the segue into, bro. I got so much ammunition built up off of. I just been
the story?
Taking y'all energy. Listen, watch this. From what y'all talking about. So,
but is this the story?
Is this the story that you was going to tell me off camera? Is this tied into the story?
But is this the story?
Yeah, this the story. Yeah, this the story.
That's story time.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. All right, check this out. So, literally, the song I just put out, my single, is called "Shine On." It's featuring The Game, right? This is how the song starts off. Dang, I just blanked out. Hold on, how it start off? April 10th, I wrote this rhyme down. That's my birthday. Crying on the interstate while I'm driving to the A. DMX just died, and man, it got me feeling low. People think I'm all good, but they don't even really know. Trying to call my girl up, well, actually, that's my ex. She won't answer my calls or reply to none of my texts. I just bought us a house, thinking she gonna be my wife. Then we had to part ways. Things wasn't working right. Allow me to explain. When y'all talk about, man, dudes wanting to be the best version of themselves, maybe you ain't all the way that person yet, but you meet a girl and you like, oh, I want to show her that I can provide, I can do this. Bro, imagine being like, bro, I sat on the porch of the house that I own now, and I literally asked my girl at the time, "Do you love this house? Cause this is gonna be our house. So if you love this house, I'm finna drop the bread. I'm finna
get in trouble.
I'm finna drop the bread today. If you say you love this house," she looked at me and said, "I love this house. This is the house that I want.
It's
Bet.
ours.
It's ours." Hey, yeah, we can go ahead on the side of that paperwork now.
Yeah, right now, nigga.
Straight like that. Few months later, we not even together no more. And I got this big old house, you heard
By
me?
yourself.
It's just me. That being said, it's so real, the fact that, like, that comes from a pure place with us as dudes wanting to be providers. And,
Oh, yeah.
but what happens is, like Jay said, if it gets to the point to where you feel like you have to buy Dior bags or houses or whatever just to keep your girl, like, happy, then that's probably a situation you should walk away from. Because what I realized was, although I bought a house saying one day we're going to have kids and raise our kids in here and all this stuff, although I did that, it still became a thing to where that wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, after that, it was like,
It's
well, what's
never
next?
enough,
Cause my ex, you know, like, bought me this in the past, and are you gonna
Yeah.
do this? And I'm like, yo, like,
Yeah, nah, we're not taking over. Don't
Yo,
project
so-
your ex onto us. I'm sorry.
And it's crazy because I feel like what happens is, like, things are unintentionally done, but it's like once you express, yo, this is how it makes me feel,
Yeah.
it's not acknowledged. And I want to ask you, right?
yeah,
Because you just breezed through that story.
right.
He did breathe.
Yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
He just
yeah.
breezed
He
through
did-
that story.
you
But
breezed through
honestly,
it.
we having a conversation, man. How does that make you feel, honestly?
Oh, bruh, like,
Take your time.
Yeah. This year has been, man, so emotional for me. You know what I mean?
I respect that. I respect the
been-
transparency.
Yeah, bro, it's been so emotional because it started with last year with my favorite girl in the whole world, my grandmother, you know what I mean, passing away. And that's my favorite girl in the whole world, you know what I mean? So once she's gone, it's like, dang, that's a blow to me. So now I'm looking for that
love.
type of love
Mm.
in a woman. And then I finally find it, and I'm like, this remind me of that bond I had with my grandma. Like, this is it. Not to mention you
look good.
bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, okay, God, I think I can do this. You know what I mean? I think I'll buy a
Nah,
house.
You just put my
Right.
grandmom in a physical form.
Right. All this. So then when that doesn't work out, it's different as dudes when we're like, yo, yeah, that relationship with old girl didn't work out, but I know I wasn't giving it my all anyway.
Yeah, but
I was
it's
talking
different
about
when
that
you
a lot.
working hard.
Bro, it's different when you're like, I wasn't talking to nobody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's different when you're like,
You're
yo,
intentional about it.
I was putting my best foot forward. I was intentionally trying to. You were making me want to be the best version of myself.
100%.
So, and I was stepping up to the challenge. But you were not meeting me halfway
100%.
and becoming the best version.
'Cause
You
you was
felt
living-
like you could just show up as is, and that this whole relationship dynamic was supposed to be me constantly working to
You know
make
what was
you
happening?
happy.
Because you was paying for somebody else's wrongdoings. So what was happening was, and I see this a lot with women, what happens is they feel like, it's like when you feel like I already did this before, I displayed who I am and my potential and what I can be, I don't got to do it again. But I say this to women all the time. At the end of the day, what you did at your last job don't carry over. I don't give a fuck what type of performer you was.
Yeah.
When you get hired over here, you got to perform and you got to be at your highest performance and giving your best effort. But when they get with new men, they feel like you giving them reparations for what the
Yeah.
last nigga didn't do. So
Man.
now I call it starting behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you start behind the 8 ball where though you like, damn, you could, cause as men, we could see, it's like, this is how they be like, we know when we want a woman. Our energy, our effort is different versus a woman that we kind of just fucking with. So you wanted her, but the thing is, she probably couldn't even believe it because she wasn't used to that. And in the back of her mind, she live in fear. So while you planning a life, she's planning an exit. You see what I'm saying? And it's crazy to say, but that's
Man, where
really,
you find this dude at, man?
Hey, listen, bro, I
He
ain't gonna lie
found me
to
at the
you.
gas station. Like, I'm telling
He
you.
wanted to pump your gas.
Let this nigga
He's
tell
like,
you I was
yo,
at the
he's
gas
like, bro,
station.
like, I'm trying to pump. I'm like, nah, bro, fuck no.
This story time with G
Right.
Hill.
But nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I told him that the conversation is gonna be like that. I said that.
Yeah, he
like,
said
that's,
that. He
I
said
think
that shit.
that might be my skill, whatever.
Man.
Anyway, but honestly, so you know what I think. What I come kind of realize is, cause you said it, and I don't know your situation with your grandmother, whatever. But you know, my mom's is, I mean, she means so much to me. You
Women
feel
gonna
me?
eat your asses up for them comments.
And,
I'm just
but
letting
nah,
y'all know.
I'm about to go into it, right? But I'm gonna be real about it, yo. I've been doing therapy for some time now, and what I
We gotta
maybe
clap it
clap
up for
that.
therapy. We
Big
gotta
ups,
clap
big
it up
ups,
for
big
therapy.
ups.
What I've noticed is, because I love my mom so much, I never really dealt with the trauma that she played in my life. And I say that because I was so understanding of what she had to do as a woman, as a single mother, as an older mother, right? That I wasn't understanding to my feelings of, even though what she had to do and how it hurt me, if that made sense. So what happened was, like, yeah, she had to make sure I was good, and she always made sure I was good, but it might have been in the form of not being there. Mm-hmm. And because she wasn't there, then I was seeking for love in a woman to be there. Mm-hmm. So when you aren't here, it don't feel like you love me, because my mom's wasn't here. You know what I'm saying? And I needed her to be here. But because I was so understanding, I wasn't able to acknowledge that I just want you to be here. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I say that to say, like, as men, we always trying to compare. I had a direct correlation because you said your grandmother. We always trying to get that love that we had from our parents when we got to create new love. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, I don't know, again, I'm just trying to challenge you. I always challenge somebody to look in the mirror, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know what, as men, what we be, what they call it, projecting. I don't know what we project on women trying to get that love from our parents. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes we do get lost in that, trying to get that love that we had from our parents, and not even knowing that we could be doing something that could be pushing the woman that we very much love. We could be doing something not even intentional. We could be doing something to be pushing them away. That the same thing we think we doing intentionally to love them is the same thing that's pushing them away. And like, I never say that's your situation. Yeah, I don't know, but that's why I ask, how do you feel about that? Because so many times, you feel me, as we get older, we used to have fun. We them guys. You feel me? We them I could tell by the two guys I got beside me that we was them guys. You get what I'm saying? But when we get older, it's like, I want to lock in. Right? Yeah. And I don't really know how to lock in because I'm from the hood. All I know is get the girls, I get the girls, you know what I'm saying? So in my mind, being that guy, I feel like if I want the girl now and I ain't playing, I should have a girl now, but I don't even know how to love a girl.
Man. Knowing how to love someone, bro, that right there is such a humbling process when you start to put another person's needs before your own, and when you ask yourself, am I equipped to love this person to be what they need at the moment? Instead of being so self-centered and asking myself, is she providing what I need from her? And it's tough when we mix love in with our callings in life, or with our career aspirations and our purpose, right? Yeah. It's tough when you mix the two, because sometimes you realize that what someone needs in terms of what they require from you in order to love them, they might require something that you're like, oh, I could provide that, but you need so much of me that I wouldn't have enough of me to dedicate.
No, that's a fact.
I wouldn't have enough of me to dedicate to this craft and to this mission I'm on.
No, that's a fact.
What are we talking about,
bro?
It's crazy, right? Because and this is why we talk about self-love, but this is why self-love is so important, because I feel like when we talk about how we love people, we can't love nobody till we love ourselves. Fact, so if we still feeling voids and shit, it's a lack of love within ourselves, and we feel like somebody could come in and fill that void, right? So and you said we need to learn how to create a different love, but I feel like we got to learn how to accept love for what it is, because a lot of people expect, like I got a friend, right, and I won't disclose, but I know he went through similar issues, but different with his mom, or whatever the case may be, or whatever. And I won't go too deep into it, but I always explain to him, I'm just like, yo, what I learned is we do what I call it role association, right? So, and I made this term by myself, right? It's where as though I look at you my mom, this is what a mom should be and do, and this is how a mom should love. But you might get mother-like love from your neighbor or your grandmom or your auntie, but because it's not your mom, you resent your mom, but you neglect the love. So it's not that you're not receiving love, it's that you wanted to come from her, which is no different than when a woman wants certain shit from a man. She not accepting you for the man you are. She wants you to love her like John loves Sarah down the street. Like, why aren't you doing for me what he do for her? She's taking their love and projecting it onto your relationship, and we do that as humans, not just men. But since we talking as amongst men, it's like when y'all take the woman and you like, damn, I'm trying to get them to love me like how my mom should have loved me. You doing the same thing. You associating a role and trying to, but instead, just accept the love they give you. So going back to your point, I just want to tie it full circle. When we think about associating with our purpose and what people need, when that void is too big for you to fill, because it's going to be two things. You're either going to be not enough for somebody, or you're going to be too much for somebody. Right. Either way, we not wrong. We just got to learn how to give them what we give them until we can't give it no more.
But let me say this too, man. We also get to the point to where oftentimes we connect with our dreams and with our purpose before we connect with the woman that we're going to be with. So because of that,
I'm about to walk away.
Because of that, bro, it's something
This
to
nigga
where
life.
it's something to where we got to be honest with ourselves.
What do you want more?
There you go. What,
I asked that question
It's
because
in a way of the superior man, bro.
there
I
you
asked
go.
I asked that question
There you
because
go.
you know I had a show. Y'all might not like this pod. Shout to my guy Star. Shout out to my guy JS1. And we were saying that we was giving advice to ladies when it came to dating creatives.
Okay.
And creative could be an artist. It could be whatever, right? And the advice was don't. And we said that because
You always gonna come
That's
second.
bad advice.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Nah,
always gonna come second.
right. So and I say that because you know like you said, bro, it's something in what we're doing that's is purposeful.
You
know what I'm saying?
supposed to come second. A woman is supposed to come second to your purpose. Don't let social media fool you.
So-
as men, we are nothing without our purpose. Because when you feel, how can you be a man for your woman when you feel empty every night? You giving her bad energy. Like you gonna come in there when shit ain't going right in your life with your career. That energy shows up in other places, and typically when you got a significant other, it shows up on them. So I think that's a downside. But when we thriving, she get the benefits of that. Like
Yeah,
the house he
facts.
bought
Yeah,
came
that
from
was
music.
for her.
The
Yeah,
shit that
yeah.
all the success that you did, that's dropping that bread for the birthday and all that shit came from the shit that you chasing because you're in a happy space. But when you depressed and you not doing what you love and you put your woman first and then they leave us, now we got resentment. In the way of the superior man, a woman has to that's why I say we're in our ambitious years. You got, and I tell women this all the time. If you're looking for me to commit to you directly, I'm still in my ambitious years. But if you okay with that, then we can rock because you can be in your ambitious years too because we living in the land of entrepreneur women now. They doing more. They not just sitting at home. So now you got more shit to occupy your time. We not getting in each other way. But I gotta chase my purpose because if I'm not chasing my purpose, then I'm gonna resent you and I'm gonna say I could have did this. I
Right.
should have. And then you're not even gonna love me no more. You're gonna say when I got with you, you was like this.
You was like
This is
you
how
this
you
person.
was. So don't never get that confused. Just don't take it out on them when shit not going right.
But that's the
and appreciate their support.
And that's the thing I was gonna say. Like all of this sounds good. Let's not get it
We
fucked
gotta
up.
work on
But we
ourselves,
are-
Hill. I know what
exactly.
you
we
about
are
to say.
we are humans, bro. And I don't know. When you had a video that just went viral and then you got another artist and it ain't hitting like it is, you might come home and the first person you're gonna take it out on unconsciously is your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Work on
And-
that for
and
sure.
that's
I agree.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
I wanted to talk to you about this because we all had this thing in common, and I don't think we ever talked about this. And we are deviating from the entire show, bro. Just let you know.
Wait.
This is not the topics that we set.
But it's fine. It's God. It's
feel
God
good.
purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
What is
fuck
it? It's divinity.
It's divinity. That's the word of the episode.
Yeah,
that might be the title
Please
of this
don't.
episode.
Please
No,
don't.
he don't
No.
like the word, so he's using it spitefully. But it's fine. It's divinity.
don't.
Okay.
I'm not spiting the word. I mean, it's cool, but
Mm-hmm.
I believe in God. Whatever.
All right.
We all do.
So all right,
bro.
cool.
What's up?
I want to ask y'all this, and be real with me. I'm gonna kick fellas. Y'all, both of y'all been cheated
I'm
on.
too short for this.
Yeah, I've been cheated on.
How did you feel, bro, when you got cheated on? How do you feel now that you got cheated on?
It's crazy because me and Dee-1 kind of briefly went into it, and I said we're going to talk about it. I'm going to just be brief. When it first happened to me, if I'm being honest, I didn't think I was affected, right? No, the first day it happened to me, I felt like I was destroyed. I'm starting day one because, for one, I'm dealing with two dynamics. Like, these are two people that's close to me, and a lot of things was going through my mind. Like, when did it happen? When did it start? Who initiated it? Why didn't somebody tell me? Damn, I thought y'all loved me, whatever the case may be. And then I just felt like I was crushed, like literally like I wasn't myself. The person y'all seeing, the confidence, that shit was shattered. I kind of almost lost exactly who I was in that moment. But when I approached her about it the second time, she laughed in my face. And when she laughed in my face, I couldn't hurt no more because she wasn't hurting. If she would have been regretful about it, I would have hurt more because I'd have been like, damn, I want to take her back, but she did this nut shit. But when she laughed, it let me know that I wasn't going back. And I think in that moment, I had to figure out who I was going to be moving forward. Yeah. So moving forward, I repositioned my mind, and I was able to, and I didn't know it was going to affect me in the future, any relationship, until I got triggered, which is what I told you. But I asked myself, I said, well, what if that's what she wanted to do? And that's what he wanted to do. And they made two decisions as adults. And maybe I was just in the middle of it. And I was in a way. So I removed myself. When I removed myself from the equation, them cheating on me, her cheating on me, it didn't hurt me no more. But it wasn't until I got in my second relationship and I never realized what being triggered was to this moment. And I seen my cousin walk in with my girl at the time. And like she had ran into him down the street or whatever. And this is a cousin I don't got to worry nothing about, but it still triggered me. Like, what the fuck? Like, and then she, like, I guess they all could see that I got triggered. And they were just like, she's like, no, I seen him at a gas station. I just told him to get in the car. They know each other, so it wasn't random. But for me, it was just random as fuck.
Yes,
So that triggered me. So that's when I realized that I needed to heal. And I do active activities. Like one of the things I did, maybe this helps somebody out there. I actually take a sheet of paper and I wrote down 10 things that was beneficial that happened from me being cheated on. Yeah. And I did it with her and I did it with him because I needed to forgive both of them. So when you can find 10 things good about something, like it's hard to be mad.
Correct.
So that was my situation.
When I got cheated on, I felt humiliated.
Perfect word. That's the perfect word.
I felt humiliated, bro. I felt like I didn't want to. I was in college when it happened. I felt like I didn't want to keep going to the school and where all these people know me as like, oh, that's the dude that his girl just cheated on him. I went from humiliated to extremely angry, and I wanted to, like, I was plotting revenge. You know what I mean? On both of them. I was plotting revenge on both him and her. I wasn't going to physically harm, the girl. I was going to get another girl to do it, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Believe that.
At least he being real.
And with dude, I was plotting on what I was finna do, right? But then, the way fate has it, I took that hurt and instead of trying to bottle it up in this toxic masculinity of like, I gotta prove a point and I'm gonna make them feel my wrath. And I opened my heart up, and that's when I found God. That is when I found God.
You refocused it kind of.
Literally, I refocused the energy. Number one, that's when I found God, because I was like, who can I cry to? Who gonna
understand me?
Who's
can I run to?
Who's
right?
gonna understand me? Right? Who's
feel this
exactly, bro? Whose relationship with me is not conditional? Who's not laughing at me? Because a lot of my human friends are laughing at me. Some of my other human friends helped facilitate her cheating on me. So I'm like, I don't know who to trust when it comes to humanity. But I'm like, God been solid the whole time. And that helped. And also, that's when Dee-1 was born. Like when I got cheated on, that's when Dee-1 was born. Because I was in college and I had started rapping. But at the time, I was like most of the other young brothers, when we first started rapping, we just trying to be like whoever our favorite rapper is at the time. For me, that was Lil Wayne. So I'm just trying to rap like Lil Wayne. I'm cursing in my music. I'm rapping about busting guns and selling dope. Not living that life, of course, but rapping like it, But after that, I was like, yo, I feel so stupid rapping about sleeping with another dude, baby mama, or taking your girl from you. Man, I just got my girl took from me. Like, what I look like. Humbling. So that's when Dee-1, that's when I went from Deezy. That was my name before, Deezy, just like Weezy, Deezy.
He really was a Lil Wayne fan.
From Deezy to Dee-1. And Dee-1 wanted to rap about the hurt of getting cheated on. Dee-1 wanted to rap about his best friend getting killed. Dee-1 wanted to rap about like reality, just reality rap, So it helped me in that kind of way. And there was something else I wanted to say on that topic. Once I got cheated on, it definitely gave birth to Dee-1. It gave birth to my then my relationship with God and my ability to forgive, like you spoke about, my ability to look at them and to realize, like, yo, life is so much bigger than me feeling like it's all about what I want. So at the end of the day, if this is what they wanted, then you know what? I don't feel like I lost something. I feel like, dude, you actually blessed me on the slick. So because of that, I have dapped off the dude that my girl cheated on me with and had conversations with him since then.
I did the same
and
shit.
Just been like, bro, it's all love. Like, trust me, it's all love.
I ain't say it was all love.
And even with
I ain't said it's all
I saw old girl.
I know it is now. I just never said it.
Yeah, I saw old girl at the class reunion, at our high school class reunion, and it was literally like, dang, it feel good to not be in here and be tight about something that happened 10 years ago.
That's love. You know what's crazy, bro? I was gonna ask you
before you gonna give us how you feel.
I'm gonna give it, but I wanted to come forward a little bit because I feel like that was in college, right? Now you just went through a situation. You bought a house, and I'm assuming that was a different type of hurt.
Yeah.
We talking about, I don't know, how long ago was college? Maybe 10? 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I say 10 years ago. We talking about fast forward 10 years. You bought a house, and the girl that you was intentionally trying to love, it hurt. She might not have cheated on you, but it hurt.
Yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Yeah, how did that make me feel? Well, it felt good that I bought an asset, number one. So at least
that's ain't buy a bag.
At least at the end of the day, right, it's a house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but it definitely feels different when you literally looked her in the eye and when I said, is this the house that you want, sweetheart? Because this is going to be where we're going to raise our family and everything. And she was like, yes, I love this house. Bet you love it. Me, I don't care. I done lived in the hood for so long. Grew up, you know what I'm saying, with nothing. Hey, I don't care. Like, if you happy, hey, man, send me the closing papers. We about to sign. So that hurt this go around, bro. It's different because it's not that 17, 18-year-old hurt fresh out of high school, I just got cheated on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was different. With this, it was that grown man hurt to where it messed with me psychologically and emotionally to where it's like now, bro, all I had back then was just make sure you go to class every day. Keep going to class. I didn't have bills back then. I got
Your
real life
responsibilities was
responsibilities now. I run businesses. I got multiple companies.
Yeah.
I got my career as Dee-1. So every day I got this hurt, but I got a whole to-do list of stuff to have to do.
Hell yeah.
And that stuff was tough, dog. And let me see. This happened a few months ago. My birthday was April 10th. DMX died
Shout
the
out
day
to the
before my
Aries.
birthday. Yeah, like, and so with us, this as far as when this ended, like, I want to say that I'm still going through it.
Can I help right quick? I just want to comment to it. I don't know if you got a
Go
question.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's crazy because if you just look at the benefits of it, you know what I mean? Like you really got a house out of it, and like I look at shit like a movie. Like we don't never like our favorite movie to come to an end. But it do, and we always looking forward to the sequel. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in this moment, it's like, yeah, that joint might have came to an end, but at the end of it, like, you ain't end up flat on your face. You actually ended up in an elevated space, and looking at what just happened as a tragic in Louisiana, in New Orleans with Louisiana,
with the hurricane.
you was able to bring Papa to
Yeah,
your house
you
that
right.
you got.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, like, sometimes God create those
saved his
spaces.
life.
You know what I mean? Because now you got space and room for him.
Yeah.
So if you ain't had a house, that situation would have been different.
You
So
right,
I
man.
wanted to tie it to that.
That's big facts.
I definitely wanted to talk about, like, I feel like a lot of times we get lost in the sauce, and the sauce is like the things that don't matter, right? And I feel like the things that don't matter is the things that's not going right, because there's so many things that are going right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times we getting lost in the sauce, we overlook that I got a house, I can save my grandpa. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to go into that, when I got cheated on, I asked you the second question because, like, I got cheated on, it hurt, but like in retrospect, like if this relationship don't go right, that don't got shit on how I would feel in this moment.
This one, right? I'm still dealing with
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? So I
Yeah.
say that to say, like, when I got hurt, what I will say is I didn't acknowledge the pain, because it was pain, right? So like my shorty, we was going through shit, so like we was just beefing or whatever. So I'll never forget it. I don't even think I ever told this story in this podcast, on a podcast at all.
Uh-oh.
So I'm big on intention, right? But we all know, like, the road to hell is paved with good intention. Like, we can say that, but it is what it is. I'm just good on intention because I try to do good, right? Believe in karma. I do believe in karma. So I say all that to say, she had this dog. This dog, we used to always pee and shit on the floor and all this, and I hated it, to be honest. I hated it because it was just annoying. We had carpet and shit like that.
Yeah.
One day I go to the club, had too many drinks, I was drunk. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, she love the dog, and you hate when a dog shit and pee on the floor. The dog is out. Take the dog out to go to the bathroom. That's what my mind is telling me. But mind you, I just told y'all, like, my prior experiences, I hate the fucking dog, like, getting on my fucking nerves. But this night, I swear to God on my life, I'll never forget it. I was drunk and everything. I'll never forget this night. I came home to take the dog out because I'm like, yo, if you hate it going on the floor, she tells you that you need to take it out all the time. So it's like 2, 3 in the morning or whatever. I take the dog out. That's all I remember. I wake up to her yelling at me about, like, me leaving the dog out, me trying to, like, get the dog to go away or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, yo, that's not what I was trying to do. But I can understand. Yeah, that wasn't my intention, but I understand how you feel that way. Fast forward, mind you, what my intention was. Fast forward, I get drunk one night. I go through her phone. I never go through, like, my girl's phone. I go through her phone.
How you knew the password?
I don't
Never
I
go
don't
through
know.
a girl's
I don't
phone.
even remember.
Unless you don't want to
Yeah,
appetite.
nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember.
Right.
So this is crazy. I found out, like, niggas is talking about, like, smashing her again or whatever the case may be, and none of that hurt.
Via text or
Yeah,
DM?
via text, bro. Like, via text.
Bro,
Like,
it hurt me
like,
just
yeah,
now.
like, I think it was her ex.
Oh.
Like, none of that hurt. Like, none of that hurt, bro. I swear to God. Like, I'm seeing pictures of her and, like, out of town with other niggas or whatever the case may be.
What?
Yeah, but none of that hurt. The thing that hurt was she was talking to her ex about that situation.
With the dog.
Yeah, she was saying how, like, she never had want to have kids with me because I tried to, like let her dog run away. And she's telling this to the next man, and I'm like, Are you fucking serious?
First of all, I came home from the club to let the dog out because I had your voice ringing in my head.
I had your voice. So the thing that hurt me is like you're exposing our problems to the next man.
Yo.
Like that right there hurt the worst. But I didn't deal with that. What I did was like my friends always tell you, they always tell me like, yo, Jay, I never seen a nigga move on that fast. I think it might have been the next day. I think it might have been the next day. I got my own crib. Like literally moved out. Wasn't no trying to make it work. None of that. Move out the next day. We was broken up ever since.
Really?
I say that to say like that shit hurt, but I didn't really deal with that. I didn't really deal with that pain. I feel like so many men get hurt, and not even just through cheating. It might be through something else, and we don't deal with the pain that we have. You know what I'm saying? If we don't deal with the pain that we have, what's going to happen is, and it's for all my young men, it's going to happen. It's going to spill over in other aspects of your life. And I say aspects of your life because it might not be a relationship. It might be your homeboy. It might be your mother. It might be your aunt.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And I feel like, yo, when you get hurt, bro, if you're a young man out there, and I know it sounds cliche, but when you get hurt, deal with it head on. You know what I'm saying? Like running from it will not save you. You gotta deal with it head on. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it's gonna come somewhere else. That's why I wanted to ask you how y'all felt me out with
six words. There is purpose in your pain.
Facts.
Everybody needs to hear that, internalize that, and know that there is purpose in your pain, bro. So when you're going through pain, number one, it's a reminder that like you're still human. The fact that you feel pain, you know
That's
what I mean?
a fact.
A lot of times, bro, we get so numb to life and so high off of whatever we using as like an escape route, you know what I mean, and a coping mechanism that we can't even really feel real feelings anymore.
That's a fact.
And like there's a purpose in it. If it didn't kill you, that pain
sent
is
for
something that was meant to shape you, bro.
100%.
Hey, fellas.
A crazy thing is, something you said when you were talking about getting cheated on, you said you felt humiliated. And I think that's why a lot of times men don't talk about it. Like I feel like we mask that pain because it's the ego and the pride of that. Because like our egos tell us, man, can't nobody fuck my chick. And this is why we don't go searching for shit, because most of the time we're like, man, she know better.
Facts.
But when you figure out and it happened, you be like, damn, if these niggas found out somebody fucking my chick, what they gonna think about me? You know what I mean? So I feel like we gotta create healthy spaces to have them talks amongst men. Like, you know, it's cool. Like it's not your fault if you were cheated on. So don't wear it like that. Don't be afraid to express it, and don't take it out on her. Cause you gotta understand, same way when men cheat, they making a decision they want to make in that moment, and if that's what she decided to do, but talk to somebody about it to not mask that pain so it don't spill over in other areas. And I just wanted to say that, and then talking about how I feel now after being cheated on, cause you asked a 2-part question. I'm so healed that it really made me a better man. Like it made me really inwardly look at myself and start to be intentionally better with how I deal with women. And even with my communication and like how I seek to understand them, you know what I mean? And not getting so wrapped up in my purpose that, because I think that's the problem. When we get so caught up in our purpose that we ignore our women, right? So I'm not ignoring my woman for my purpose. I'm letting my woman know, like, you're a priority to me. But if you want this shit to work out, I gotta be here, because if this ain't right, then I'm not gonna even be right for you. So I got better behind being cheated on.
Get right with yourself, man. I feel like I definitely got better through that. You know what I'm saying? Because now I can move in situations and understand that like things ain't gonna go my way all the time.
He's simping now.
You know what I'm saying? No. I got a girl. I can't simp.
No,
So
I'm
like,
talking shit because they be
I'm
calling
about to say, yeah. I mean,
I
you
don't
call
call
me
him
what
a
I
simp,
mean.
but they
I
be
got a
calling
girl.
my
I
man
can be a simp.
Yeah.
But what I say is,
I don't even know what the
now,
fuck that shit mean.
now I understand that things ain't always gonna move in my way. You know what I'm saying? So I might do something and with great intention, and it might not move my way, and that's okay, because I know where I'm at with it. You get what I'm saying? But I don't feel it's no love lost, no harm done. It is what it is, fellas. I enjoyed the conversation, man. This shit was amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing, yo.
Yeah, this
Amazing.
one of them ones right here.
This
bro.
is one of them ones.
Like people could take sound bites and gems from this and instantly apply it to what they're going through in their life, because relationships and being hurt, that's just a metaphor for overall life, bro, and being hurt in life or being disappointed, bro, and understanding how your pain is actually part of your purpose, how it's all divine.
You ain't about to do that though, bro. This conversation wasn't about just relationships.
It felt like it took a turn.
Oh my
dog.
God!
What else did we talk about? What else did we talk about?
Nah. We talked about music. We talked about purpose without relationship.
We did. We
Nah,
talked about
relationship
music.
just took
Man, I got
over
a
the
single
conversation.
out, Shine On, featuring
Yeah.
the Gam. Y'all go stream that, man.
Shout
right
out to
now.
the guy Dee-1, man.
Facts,
Make sure y'all
man.
go stream Shine On.
Appreciate y'all.
Hey, Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that
cool
good shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
all that little YouTuber shit.
Facts, all that shit they
Hey,
say.
hell,
my boy.
we YouTubing right now. All that
Facts.
YouTuber shit.
Do
Make sure
all
y'all
that
follow me
shit,
on
man.
social media.
Yeah.
Wolf WSC. You know what I mean? And yeah, check out my book, Cheating Is Not Cheating. I'm excited for episode 4.
Yeah, man. Follow me at Mr._J Hill. Follow us at the Wolf and J Hill Show. My guy Dee-1, say yes.
Follow me at Dee-1 Music, DEE, the #1 music. You heard me. Plug my watch line right quick.
Woo-hoo.
Arburnett brand, luxury wooden watches.
Yeah,
Go to
bring us a watch.
arburnetbrand.com. Oh, that's easy, man. That's lightweight, man.
All right,
We
send
make
them off
these
camera.
though. We make these, so I gotta get it made for
That's
y'all.
cool.
I
That's
got
a bet.
y'all.
All right.
Hey, listen. Oh shit! This the tip of the night. Listen, men, stop choosing women you want. Sometimes start choosing a woman that wants you. She gonna treat you better.
That's
Why you play like
bro,
that?
why
Had
you
to
gonna
end
do
it
that
on
at the
the
end of the
jump, man.
episode,
Had to
dog?
end it on
That's
the
a whole.
jump.
Why you waited to say
Hey,
that?
man,
Y'all
right
said
now?
so much good shit. I was trying to find my way in, but I'm like, I'ma just hold it. But yeah, man, y'all know my tagline.
I
The Wolf
just
has
said
spoken.
the same thing earlier today though,
Yeah.
so that's crazy.
Yeah,
Nah, man,
that's
that's
how we win in life.
It's a wrap, man. We don't have nothing else to say.
Yeah, that's
We
it.
out.